Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a really beautiful day and start to your week. If you are new here, then welcome. My name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. I thought I would try something a little bit different in this reading, so I wanted to actually start doing some more sign-specific readings. I know that a lot of you really resonate with videos that dive into messages for particular astrological signs. Now, of course, I will still be doing collective readings as well, and even though in these sign-specific readings, the messages will be directed at a particular sign, you might still find that those messages do resonate with you, even if you do not have that sign in your birth chart. So I'm really just using these astrological transits as a kind of jumping off point for some different, possibly more specific messages. Do let me know in the comments if you like this style of video, and let's go ahead and get into it by starting with the sign of Gemini. So this particular reading video is inspired by the sign of Gemini, meaning that I am using this particular sign, the sign of the twins, as they say, to channel some specific messages in this reading. Of course, if this is not your sign, you might find that some of the messages still resonate with you. But let's go ahead and take a look to find out what's going on in Gemini's energy through the tarot today. So, what can I channel for the Geminis listening to this reading? Okay, we have in the near future. I heard the word waiting. For some reason, I also saw someone's hair in a braid, something about braided hair or braiding here. I know that's very specific. I also got the letters H, R, E, and N. Those could be related to someone in some way. With this card, in the near future, I feel as though you've been waiting for something, whether it's waiting for a particular person to come back into your life. For some reason, I am getting that for many in the sign of Gemini, you might be waiting for a particular person to communicate with you or for some kind of communication. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be romantic communication. This could be in business. This could be platonic, really communication of any kind. I'm also hearing feeling disconnected. So for someone in the sign of Gemini, you might be feeling very detached right now socially from the people around you, which is interesting because your sign tends to be very good at conversation, very good at socializing. I feel though at this time you have been just feeling a little bit out of your element. So if you've been feeling that way, I want to channel a little bit more about what could be going on here. Okay, so very clear message here from the Ask Angels deck, which is no need to worry. So if you've been worried about this feeling of detachment that you've had recently from other people, I almost get like you may be kind of in this daydreamy state of being where you just don't feel very grounded. You might find yourself kind of lost in your own head, feeling like you're not really communicating as well as usual. I am getting, first of all, that a lot of this is just you overjudging yourself. I'm picking up that for whoever I'm channeling here, you might actually just generally have the tendency of being very hard on yourself and really holding yourself to a super high standard. And I feel someone's guide saying you don't have to be on all the time, socially speaking, and when it comes to your communication. Now, for some of you, this sense of worry may actually be connected to that thing that you're waiting on. And if that is the case, I feel like this is a very positive sign of confirmation that whatever you feel like you've been waiting for, particularly if it involves someone communicating with you, I'm getting for some of you, this may have something to do with getting approved or accepted for something, or receiving some kind of a sign from someone about how they feel towards you. If it's relationship wise, again, take this as it resonates. If this is related to your life or work, this may have to do with an acceptance. If this has to do with a particular relationship, then this may have to do with really figuring out how this person feels about you, getting some kind of sign of confirmation. And again, I'm getting this very strong message of holding your ground mentally, emotionally, also not jumping to any conclusions if that particular communication seems to be a little bit delayed here, because there's something about timing coming up where you might be feeling as though that communication you're waiting for is delayed in some way. And again, do not worry about any of that. It's going to be coming in. I am getting a message of guidance from someone's spirit guides that it could be very beneficial to you to do a positive visualization regarding this thing that is important to you, or that feels in limbo, that feels like something you're waiting on, because your imagination is extremely vivid and powerful. And I'm channeling that specifically for someone listening here. Like, you've always had a very vivid imagination, a very vivid visualization faculty, and you can actually utilize that to manifest things in a way that can feel instantaneous. In fact, you may have noticed this recently in small ways where you would visualize something even just for a few seconds and then let it go. And then suddenly it would manifest into your life and you would recognize, wait a second, that's something that I actually visualized. This may not have even been intentional manifestation. It's just that you're in this place where you might be finding these even unintentional instant manifestations happening in ways that might seem small to your conscious human mind, but are really powerful signs of evidence of just how good of a manifester you've become. You've become very skilled at manifesting your reality very efficiently. And it's something that at times you become so accustomed to or familiar with that you don't really give yourself enough credit for it. Okay, so let's move on to this traditional tarot card that came out for you, because Gemini, there's something you need to know today about this Ten of Swords energy. This is a very, very heavy energy. This is feeling like you're hitting some kind of a dead end, putting the final nail in a coffin, so to speak, like metaphorically closing this chapter. And I feel like I'm seeing someone slam a door. I feel like you are shutting the door on people that you have intuitively felt have backstabbed you or betrayed you or not really given you the respect that you deserve. I hear no longer allowing yourself to be a doormat for other people. There is like this very strong, intense, I love myself, I honor myself, I know my worth, and I'm going to set boundaries accordingly kind of energy. This is a pretty unfamiliar space for some of you, particularly with Gemini placements, because in general, you really enjoy positive communication, and negative communication makes you uncomfortable, whether it's coming from other people or whether you are needing to communicate something that you know others are going to take in a negative way. You're also someone who is highly, highly intuitive. So whenever you have to communicate a boundary, you intuitively can actually sense the other person's reaction to that boundary, almost as though it's happening in your own energy field. And this might add to that feeling of discomfort that we're talking about here, but you are facing those fears. You are really learning to communicate those boundaries to people who have trespassed on them in the past. There are people in your life who haven't had your best interest at heart, and I feel that this is coming to light. You are seeing it in kind of a glaring way, and I'm hearing for some it might actually be a little bit of a tough pill to swallow at times, because you might be seeing the truth in certain people around you in a way that can actually be a little bit painful to see or painful to accept. But your guides are telling you that nothing is revealed to you that you are not ready to receive. And they're also so proud of you for having the courage to communicate your boundaries and your worth through your actions and communication to other people, even when it goes against your nature of always wanting to keep the peace. Of course, keeping the peace is a really beautiful thing. And I feel that for whoever I'm speaking to, you actually have this really magical gift of being able to make other people feel very comfortable. But as with every gift, it comes with shadow elements as well. And part of the shadow element of this gift of being able to make others feel at peace and feel comfortable is that it is very difficult for you to do or say anything that you know is going to be very disruptive to someone else's reality or to their mental state, even if it's something that feels really necessary to say. So we have a card from the traditional tarot coming out. Wow, what opposite energies coming out through these cards. Gemini, have you been feeling in kind of an opposite energy lately, meaning swinging from like highs to lows? Because this Ten of Swords led directly into this Ten of Cups. And I would consider these cards almost the two most opposite cards in the traditional tarot. That Ten of Swords represents this ending, feeling defeated, feeling at a dead end, whereas Ten of Cups represents this happy ever after kind of energy. I'm hearing romantic, so you may be someone who's always really been a romantic in love, and I feel that some of those childhood fantasies or daydreams are actually about to come true, which I know sounds really strange, but it feels like there's something very fairy tale-esque on the way for you in love. I'm seeing that very strongly from this Ten of Cups energy. What else is happening here with the Ten of Cups? Yeah, there's a light at the end of the tunnel here, especially for those of you who have been feeling a lot of heavy energy, particularly in love. The word confusion is coming out. So for many Geminis that I'm speaking to here, it feels as though, specifically in love, for some reason you've been feeling a bit muddy or a bit confused about something. The strange thing is that in spite of this feeling of confusion, it feels like something really positive, romantically speaking, is right around the corner for you. So let me see if I can channel any other information. It may be that someone romantically is actually going to be bringing you some kind of communication or information that will clarify something for you, clear something up in some type of way. I'm getting that very strongly here. What else is going on here romantically for Gemini? Yeah, Knight of Wands upright, particularly if you are a feminine energy listening. Now, of course, these labels, masculine and feminine, could apply to someone who is traditionally male or female. These are just ways of describing energy, but it feels like there is this Knight of Wands coming towards you, a very fast-moving, potentially masculine energy. And it's interesting because at the bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers in the reverse position. So there may have been a lack of accountability from this particular person in the past that led to some kind of disconnection or detachment. And they could be coming in very quickly to clear up some of the confusion that you've been experiencing. Now, for others of you, if this doesn't resonate as being someone from the past, this actually could be someone entirely new who enters your life very quickly, and actually it's almost like they bring an end to this time of feeling lonely or feeling confused or isolated in love, if that makes sense. Like there's just some kind of light at the end of the tunnel sort of experience coming up here. And what this all is requiring of you is surrender. With the 5 of Swords, I see that there might be something that you've been holding on to really tight or worried about or trying to control. And that energy of worry or control might actually be energetically blocking this situation from being able to fully transform in a positive way, from bringing in this very fast moving new energy that could move this situation forward very quickly. So if this is resonating with you, I would also really recommend my Love Magnetism Subliminal from my Subliminals app, Sound and Soulful, because this is designed to clear out those feelings of stress and worry that do block that energy of unconditional love. This, of course, comes from my app, Sound and Soulful, which you can search for in either of the app stores. You can also download it directly by following the link in the pinned comment and description box under the video. And as you can see on the screen, I am just showing you around some of the subliminals in the app. I do have subliminals for essentially every area of life, and they are designed to bypass the conscious filter of the mind and make deep, lasting impressions on the subconscious mind, which research has shown actually controls 95% of our thoughts, actions, and outcomes in life. So this is why personally I've seen tremendous results meditating with my own subliminals over the years. And I know many of you are beginning to see some of these positive shifts and changes as well. So if you would like to try them out, you can do so by downloading the app via the link in the pinned comment and description box under the video and creating a free trial account. Yeah, it just really feels like, Gemini, something has felt very tied up, and I'm feeling someone's guide saying something has felt tied up, but it's actually in the works, representing to me that something might feel out of your control or might feel very confusing or uncertain to you. But beyond what you can consciously see, there is a divine working at play here in your life. Things are really being orchestrated in a very powerful, positive way. And as I've been saying, there is this fast moving energy coming towards you, letting me know that you are soon going to be receiving something that you've been waiting for, most likely communication from someone or something that clears up some points of confusion that you may have had in the past. And of course, to close the reading, we have the cornucopia card in the upright position. Gemini, you know how to manifest. You know who you are at this deeper spiritual level. You've developed this natural ability to manifest very quickly, whether you fully realize that or not. So keep focusing on holding that grander vision for yourself and your life and staying in that positive, attractive, meaning energetically attracting that vision kind of state of being as much as you can at this time. Now, to end the reading, I do have the Rumi card, the courage of your love. So I am going to be reading a little bit from the guidebook here. The guidebook says, "Love is without reason. Rationality is like a cane. Love needs a cane because it is blind. When love arrives, thought dies in its shadow. Love is the sunrise, while thought is only a flashing light." Rumi. And the guidebook also says, This is the heart that shines with courageous love, the great heart that can hold the suffering of the world within it and yet still find space for peace, for sweetness, for tenderness, and for rapture. It is willing to feel and bear all suffering without judgment, whilst gently holding in it the truth of what suffering really is, the drying out of the mind addicted to suffering. This drying out is necessary so that love can ignite itself and transform deadwood into living fire. The path of freeing the heart from the effects of a fearful mind is an initiation into great power. So that feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. If this resonated with you, regardless of whether you have Gemini placements or not, do let me know in the comments under the video. Let me know as well what sign you want me to read into next. I will be getting around to all of them, I promise. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. And of course, if my energy resonates for you, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. The link to download the Sound and Soulful Subliminals app and start your 7-day free trial to access my entire library of over 130 powerful subliminals for all areas of life is in the pinned comment and description box under the video. Otherwise, I am sending you all so much love. Take care, Geminis, and those of you who may not be Geminis but resonated with this reading. I am sending you all tons of love and light energy today, and I will connect with you here again in the next reading.